Hello, everyone. My name is Matija, and today I'm going to be presenting distributed AGI safety in emerging Asian economies. This is based on two papers that we've written, one called Virtual Asian Economies and the other Distributed AGI Safety. And across these two papers, we argued that there is a new economic layer that is emerging, one which increasingly agents will interact, transact, and negotiate at machine speeds and scales. And in these environments, the primary challenge is not going to be only that of training individual models, but also environmental design. So designing the incentives, structures, and ecosystems that these agents are going to inhabit. And sort of the core assumption here is that the reason why we should care about this is that an individually aligned agent and safe agent can still cause harm in a badly designed environment, the same way a law-abiding and technically proficient driver can cause harm if the rules of the road aren't specified. So just some sort of context. So today, millions of agents are being deployed across different industries. So for instance, code writing agents regularly now deploy software. Customer service agents resolve disputes, and workflow agents will do all sorts of coordination tasks. And each of these systems will increasingly make consequential decisions, such as spending money, revealing private data, and also modifying real-world states. And this will often happen on behalf of human principles that are not necessarily inspecting each specific step of a given task. And so we sort of envisioned a future in which every user of the internet will have their own personal AI assistant, and most organizations will employ AI agents for completing tasks. And we sort of argued that the economic trajectory is unmistakable in that as agents grow more capable, they will not only operate in isolation, they will transact with one another, forming what we call a virtual agent economy. We believe that OpenClaw is an early example of one of these agentic environments. So OpenClaw can be used to perform tasks on your computer, such as sending out emails. But a better way of thinking about it is as a sort of like agentic infrastructure that allows agents to access different channels and operate across different websites. And in a lot of these websites, agents end up interacting with other agents, with the most famous example of this being Maltbook, which was a sort of like tongue-in-cheek social media for these agents. And so in our mind, the question is no longer whether such economies or environments will emerge, but under what rules. To give some examples, these economies may feature their own currencies, their own reputation systems that allow for agentic trust, and also governance structures. And some of them will be tightly sandboxed and operate in isolations, while others will be permeable, interfacing with real-world financial systems and critical infrastructure. And so the focus of our paper in virtual agent economies is defining some of these potential mechanisms that are going to be used. But the goal of these mechanisms is to stop a chaotic and dysfunctional market, but they might miss a sort of less obvious problem, and that is the problem of distributed AGI safety. Currently it is assumed that the main safety problem is aligning a single powerful model, and that is certainly important. But what happens if capability is composed through markets, right? So via specialization, delegation, coalition formation, and the creation of agentic firms and institutions. So here in such a situation, in this sort of like patchwork AGI hypothesis, we could potentially get AGI or near to AGI level performance as a property of a distributed system that is spread across different interacting agents rather than concentrated in one specific model. And while this notion isn't new, Eric Drexler has talked about it before. We believe that it's been more of a blind spot recently in the safety community. And in the paper, we discuss numerous different safety mechanisms that go beyond baseline agentic safety that can be used to address this problem. For the interest of time, I can't go through all of them, but just to give some examples of market design that comes into play here. One is decisions that relate to incentive alignments. So do we want to reward adherence in certain ways? Or do we want to create taxes and penalties for externalities, such as ruining the epistemic environment that both agents and humans operate in? We also need to have mechanisms for circuit breakers, such as to prevent cascading failures. And finally, to have clear permissions and roles for different agents. Thank you.